didn't hurt her. Why would I wouldn't do that.
Not on purpose.
I didn't hurt her.
Did you give her a little bit too much melatonin?
No, she only gets 2 every night.
But if she woke up today and you wanted her to go back to sleep,
I didn't give her any.
and she wouldn't, she said no.
I didn't give her any melatonin today.
Because part of the autopsy is toxicology.
I understand.
Right? And they're gonna find out what's in her stomach, and they're gonna find out what happened.
I know.
Okay? Whatever happened to her, we're gonna find out.
I understand
okay?
that.
And you want us to, right? You want us to find out what happened.
Of course, I want to know.
Okay? So when we find out what happened to her, and all the questions that we have are going to be answered from that, and we're asking you right now those same questions that you can't answer, or you won't answer.
All the questions.
Not really. You're giving us an answer, but it's not the right one. It's not the truth.
It is the truth.
There's a lot of weight right now. I can see it. Okay? You've lost your daughter. What happened wasn't intentional.
Obviously not.
Okay? Well, it's not obvious.
It is.
If it was obvious, we wouldn't be talking.
They get frustrated with their kids.
Everybody does.
Right? You've got a 4-year-old, you know. Okay? But sometimes it gets a little too hard. Right? And parents do things that they aren't thinking about at the time. And they can't help it. It happens, and afterwards, it's too late. Okay? I think that happened today.
All I did was lay her down for her nap and cover her up like I always do.
Right. But you laid her down in a certain way that killed her.
How?
That's what we're kids just don't die.
Obviously. I did not hurt my daughter, and you're not going to sit here and tell me I did.
Well, tell me what happened.
I don't know. I said
I think
she
you do.
could. He didn't murder her.
What do you think should happen to someone who hurts a 2-year-old?
They should obviously be put away, but guess what? I wouldn't do that.
This is 21-year-old Paige Boone, playing the role of a grieving mother. Her daughter died at her home that morning. While she sits here accepting condolences, her phone is already in evidence. It contains a chain of text messages that will answer every question the detectives are about to ask. They just have not told her that yet.
And then he says, "Man, beat her ass, bae. That shit's stupid as fuck. Put her face in the couch or wrap her ass up in that big cover."
I did hold her down for a minute just so she would stay still. But it wasn't for very long. I just wanted her to go to sleep.
What you told me you did happened, because that's how died. That's how it was proven in the autopsy.
On the morning of November 7th, 2024, in Sturgis, Michigan, emergency services received a 911 call from 21-year-old Paige Boone. Her 2-year-old daughter was not breathing.
Central County 911, where is your emergency?
Hello, my daughter's not breathing.
Your daughter is not breathing?
No, sir.
Okay, we're getting everybody headed that way. Just stay on the phone with me, okay? How old is your daughter?
She's 2 years old.
By the time first responders reached the Memory Lane Mobile Home Park, it was already too late. 2-year-old Octavia Boone was pronounced dead at the scene. People who knew her described a cheerful, always smiling little girl. By every account, one of the happiest people any of them had ever met. On the call, detectives noted Paige sounded concerned. When officers arrived and examined the scene, something did not sit right. They brought Paige in for questioning that same evening. From the moment she sat down, it was clear she had a story prepared. She would need far more than one interview to keep it straight. She opens with a normal morning.
Last night for dinner we had like this chicken and noodle stuff. I don't know what the name of it is. And then she ate her dinner, or we all ate our dinner, and then we sat down, we watched a movie, put her to sleep at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's what time she usually lays down. And then me and my boyfriend laid down, watched a movie, we went to sleep. Around 5 o'clock this morning, she woke up. She was doing her little crying stuff like she usually does when she wakes up. And then I woke her up, got her up, not woke her up, changed her butt, And then I laid her back down, but she didn't go back to sleep until about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then I made something to eat, took a little shower, and then I sat on the front porch too. And then when I was going to the bathroom, that's when my uncle came and got me.
Okay. Well, tell me about that.
About
About when, yeah, when you came and got you.
Oh, he hollered my name, and then my cousin came back. She knocked on the door. I was using the toilet, so I hurried up and got off the toilet and ran out there to see what was the matter.
Mm-hmm. And what was the matter?
She wasn't breathing.
All right. And how does she typically sleep? Like, what's her favorite position to sleep in?
She usually likes to sleep on her stomach. That's just always been her thing, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And then where do you sleep at?
Me and my boyfriend have an air mattress we blew up, and we lay it right by the couch.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then you said she's watching Bluey.
Yeah.
For how long?
For, I don't know, from 5 till she fell asleep.
Okay. Which was, what time was that?
5 o'clock when she woke up, and about 9:30, 10 o'clock when she went back to sleep.
Okay. All right. And then what did you do? You said you made something to eat?
Yeah, I made something to eat, took a shower, just sat on the front porch for a minute, and then I went back in to use the bathroom, and that's when my uncle came and got me.
As investigators begin building the timeline, they steer toward anything that might have influenced how Octavia slept, including medications. Paige eventually mentions melatonin, a small detail, the kind of thing a careful person includes early to seem forthcoming. It will come back.
Any medications in the house?
No.
Nothing?
She takes melatonin to help her sleep, but she only gets 2 at night.
Okay. And she didn't have any today?
No, she didn't.
No? Who usually gives that to her?
Me.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
And where do you get the melatonin from?
From the store.
Okay. Is it like a child melatonin, or okay? And it usually works for her pretty good.
Yeah, because she likes to fight her sleep, so.
Does she?
Yeah, all the time.
Has that been something that she's always done, or is that just
Yeah.
because of the terrible twos?
That's always been a her thing.
Yeah. But it works for her though.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
helps her sleep.
Yeah, I take it too because
Right.
I have trouble falling asleep. How many milligrams is it?
I don't remember. I would have to read the bottle.
Yeah. Is it the dissolvable kind or the chewing kind?
The chewy kind, like the gummy kind.
The gummy, yeah. Yeah. I usually use the dissolvable kind, you know, but so what do you think happened?
I wonder if, because she likes to lay on her stomach, I know that. I wonder if she, like, had her face down in a blanket or something.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
While Paige has been sitting in this room, detectives have already spoken with her uncle Chris. Their accounts do not match. The detective delivers this information calmly. The weight behind it is something else.
So I know in situations like this, right, this is a very tragic event, lots of stress, lots of emotions, lots of things going through your mind. The biggest thing that can hinder an investigation and us finding out what happened to us is when someone doesn't tell us everything that happened, or they try and say, tell us something that they think we want to hear. So we've done other interviews today already. Okay. And some of the things in the other interviews for people who were at the trailer aren't lining up with what you're telling me.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, we've talked to Chris, right, who was in and out.
Yeah.
So we went through his timeline with him numerous times. Chris's timeline does not match your timeline. Chris didn't tell us about watching while you went and took a shower. Chris didn't say anything about doing laundry.
I told him I was taking a shower. I told her she's still sleeping. Can you keep an eye on her for a minute while I hop in the quick shower? And he did.
He didn't mention that to us at all. Are you sure that was this morning?
Yes, that was this morning.
Why do you think he wouldn't tell us that?
I don't know. He was sitting on his bed in his bedroom when I stepped in and I said, "She's still sleeping, can you watch her for a second just while I take a shower?" And he said, "Yeah, that's fine, go ahead."
Yeah, that didn't come up when we were talking with him. Do you find him to be a reliable person?
Sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
I don't know, just like family drama in the past.
Like what?
Just, lies and accusations, all types of stuff.
Against you or other family members?
No, other family members.
Okay.
Like them just not getting along.
So don't know why Chris wouldn't tell us about you going to take a shower and him doing laundry? Okay. If Chris told us that you were laying on the air mattress every time he came in and out of the trailer?
No. The first couple of times maybe, after I had gotten her back to sleep, but after that I got up and I got around for the day and cleaned up, took a shower, did what I did.
Okay, and you're saying Chris was up and moving around and you were interacting with him and talking to him?
Yeah, we were talking all morning after I had gotten up out of bed.
Okay, so I guess what we need to figure out is who is not telling us an accurate story. Is it you, or is it Chris? Or is it a combination of maybe the two of you are misremembering things a little bit?
I said everything that happened.
The detective returns to the one question Paige cannot answer cleanly. Octavia had slept on that same couch, in that same position, every night for a week and a half. Nothing happened. So what was different this particular morning?
Kids just don't die.
Obviously.
Right? And you've said yourself that she slept on that couch for a week and a half.
Yeah.
In the same position. Didn't die. So what is different now? What happened?
I don't know. That's what we're all trying to figure out.
Right. And we need people to be honest about it. Because when we find out what happened to her, when she has an autopsy tomorrow morning, and we find whatever the pathologist is going to find, and you're going to tell us that nothing happened, it's going to be a different story.
I'm not saying anything didn't happen. I'm saying we're trying to figure out what happened to her.
So what did happen?
I laid her down for her nap. I said I think because she likes to sleep on her stomach, she could have tucked her head in at some point.
Was there a pillow there?
No, just her blanket. But she likes to sleep with her face in the couch sometimes, so she could have done that.
Okay. So do you think she suffocated?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Did you suffocate her?
No.
I have to ask.
I wouldn't do that to my kid. I love that little girl.
Then why would you hurt her?
I didn't hurt her.
Someone hurt her.
I did not hurt my daughter, and you're not going to sit here and tell me I did.
Then why are there so many inconsistencies from your story to Chris's recollection of this very same morning?
I'm telling you everything that happened, sir.
So the picture that you drew over here was Detective Sergeant Otten. You said that this is the blanket line here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this how she was when you checked on her?
Yeah.
When you put your hand on her back?
Yes.
Okay. You sure it was there?
Yes.
It wasn't over her head?
No, it was right here.
Okay. And when you went in and checked on her and found her unresponsive, where was it at?
My uncle had taken it off her, so it was off.
Okay. So when your uncle found her or checked on her, where was the blanket at?
It was down here at the other end.
No, not once he took it off. When he went in to actually check on her.
It was still right here.
Okay, because he said it was completely covering her head.
No, it was right here. And her shoulders and her head were both poking out. She was laying there.
Completely opposite of what Chris said.
Why would I? She didn't have her head covered.
He said that's how she likes to sleep. He said he sees her like that
Not how she was
frequently.
sleeping.
He said he saw her like that multiple times this morning. He told us every time he saw her, her entire body was covered up.
And I'm telling you.
Do you think she covered herself up?
She could have.
Did she?
Obviously.
Obviously what?
Did she what?
Did she cover herself up?
No. When I came back out, it was still right here. When I went to get in the shower, it was right there.
Okay, why would he tell us that it wasn't?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out, too. This shit's dumb. Like, why would I lie?
No, it's not dumb. It's very suspicious.
Lies are dumb. I'm
Right,
telling
so
you,
stop
I
telling
took
me
a shower.
lies.
I'm not telling you lies.
Then tell me the truth about what happened.
That's
If you
what
don't
I'm doing
remember,
right
you need
now.
to say, I don't remember. But don't
What
tell
would
me
I
something
not
that's not
remember?
true.
I'm telling you everything that happened this morning.
Rather than pressing the inconsistencies further, the detective shifts strategy. The questions become less about the timeline and more about Paige as a mother. It is a deliberate turn.
Are you a good mother?
Yeah, I am.
You take care of your daughter?
I do.
So she never goes to friends' houses with a
No,
terrible
she
diaper
don't.
rash. And if someone told me that, would they be telling me a
I
lie?
get terrible diaper rashes. The only person she goes to is her aunts, and that's not very often.
And who?
Her Aunt Tabitha.
Okay. So Tabitha's never talked to you about her terrible diaper rash or getting her cream or...
Oh, she's had a diaper rash once, yeah, because when I lived at my parents' house, they would give her milk, and they know she's lactose intolerant, so that's why her ass broke out.
Okay. And how many times would you think that would be? Estimate.
Well, it happened quite a few times, because my parents don't listen to me.
So why would you take your daughter back to your parents' house and if
Because
they
I
don't
had
listen to
to
you?
live there. What am I supposed to do, live on the street? No.
So if you're living at your parents' house and you have there, why would she be at her aunt's house?
Because her aunt comes to pick her up so she can visit her.
So if her aunt told us that every time she picked her up, she had a terrible diaper rash, would she be lying?
She didn't have a terrible diaper rash every time she picked her up. That only happened a couple times. Because of what I just said, she can't drink milk.
So she's lactose intolerant.
Yes.
So because we interviewed Tabitha,
Okay.
and she told us that every time she picked her up, she had a terrible diaper rash.
No, she didn't.
She said she talked to you about it multiple times. She has pictures of it.
And I took care of it multiple times. She has butt cream and everything. The last time that happened was when I lived at my parents' house. She doesn't get milk anymore. There's nobody to give it to her.
See, Paige, a lot of these things aren't adding up. That's the problem. You get a completely different story from your friends and family than from you. If it was off a little bit, I get that, right? But it is completely different, and that doesn't happen. So that means we have a problem. So if there's some things that you want to go back and readdress with us, we're more than happy to listen. That's what we're here for. But we need you to tell us.
I've told you from the end to the beginning.
The truth about Octavia's death is going to surface. Detectives know exactly how to speed that process along. They move into what investigators call the minimization technique, a psychological approach in which the moral or legal weight of an act is deliberately understated, the behavior framed as accidental, the confession made to feel like a reasonable next step. Paige never saw the pivot coming.
I think it was an accident.
What was an accident?
What happened today?
I didn't hurt her. Why would I wouldn't do that.
Not on purpose.
I didn't hurt her.
Did you give her a little bit too much melatonin?
No, she only gets 2 every night.
But if she woke up today and you wanted her to go back to sleep
I didn't give her any.
and she wouldn't, she said no,
I didn't give her any melatonin today.
because part of the autopsy is toxicology,
I understand.
right? And they're gonna find out what's in her stomach, and I mean they're gonna find out what happened.
I know.
Okay, whatever happened to her, we're gonna find out.
I understand
Okay,
that.
and you want us to, right? You want us to find out what happened.
Of course, I want to know.
Okay, so when we find out what happened to her, and all the questions that we have are going to be answered from that, and we're asking you right now those same questions that you can't answer, or you won't
I answer.
answer.
All the questions.
Not really. You're giving us an answer, but it's not the right one. It's not the truth.
It is the truth.
There's a lot of weight right now. I can see it. Okay, you've lost your daughter. What happened wasn't intentional.
Obviously not.
Okay, well, it's not obvious.
It is.
If it was obvious, we wouldn't be talking.
They get frustrated with their kids,
Everybody does.
right? You've got a 4-year-old, you know. Okay? But sometimes it gets a little too hard, right? And parents do things that they aren't thinking about at the time. And they can't help it. It happens, and afterwards, it's too late. Okay? I think that happened today.
All I did was lay her down for her nap and cover her up like I always do.
Right. But you laid her down in a certain way that killed her.
How?
That's what we're asking you.
She sleeps on her stomach every night.
Right, but she hasn't died the other nights.
That's why we're trying to figure out what happened.
Right. So you were the last person that put her to sleep.
Obviously, I'm her mother.
Right. So
I laid her down, covered her up, she went to sleep.
Paige does not admit to hurting her daughter, but she offers something. That particular morning, a blanket was over Octavia's head. Unlike every other time before, this one was not quite the same.
So tell me about when you put her down.
I then was lay her down and cover her up like I usually do.
Did you use the blanket to smother her?
No, I would not do that.
Did you cover her nose and her mouth?
No,
Did you push her head into the cushion?
no, I wouldn't do that.
No. But it can happen.
I did not do that.
Then what happened?
I told you all I did was lay her down and cover her up like I usually do.
But there was something different this time. There was something that was a little different this time. That was different from all the other times that you've done that with her. Am I right?
I guess so, because something happened.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I understand.
Right? You didn't do whatever happened. You didn't do it on purpose.
Never.
Never. She was your baby girl. Okay? You would never do it on purpose. Okay? But something was different this time, for whatever reason, and that caused her little heart to stop beating. Whatever that little thing was is what we're trying to figure out. It's nothing you did on purpose. Accidents happen. You know that. So tell me what was different this time.
I told you I laid her down and I covered her up like I usually do. I checked on her like I always do. A couple of times when I checked on her. Sometimes she'll pull the blanket over her head, but whenever I checked on her, I always pull it back off.
Okay. And how many times did you check on her today when the blanket was over her head?
Several times.
Several times. Okay. And that was already after you laid her down.
After it? What do you mean?
Like you said that you had laid her down.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then she wouldn't go to sleep right away. And you had put the blanket, right, kind of like over her shoulders.
Yeah.
Right? And then at some point the blanket came over her head.
Yeah, because sometimes she'll just rub it over her face because she doesn't like the light in her eyes, and it was obviously daylight out, so the light was bothering her.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you think the blanket suffocated her?
That's what I'm thinking happened.
Yeah? Did you put the blanket over her like that?
No, I didn't, sir.
Can you look at me and tell me that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't do it on purpose.
Never.
Octavia was here right now, and she could talk like we were talking. And I asked her what happened. What would she say?
The same thing that I've said.
She would say that Mommy put me to sleep,
Yes.
but it was a little different this time.
It wasn't different.
But you said it was a little different this time. And I asked you what was different this time about it.
Oh, when she threw the blanket over her head.
Okay. So I would tell us that when Mommy laid me down.
Yeah, she was always throwing the blanket over her head. She didn't like the light in her face.
Okay. I know it was an accident. And I also know that when we find out what happened to her, there's not going to be any more chances for you to tell us the story.
I told you what happened.
I know that's what you're telling us, okay? But what you're telling us and what we're going to find out the truth is, and if those things aren't going to match up, that's not good.
The detective shifts register entirely. He is no longer speaking to a suspect. He is speaking to a mother. It is a deliberate frame designed to reach whatever she is still holding back about what happened before the 911 call.
You're almost there. That little bit that you just told me, I could see it in your eyes that it made you feel just a little bit better. But there's still some things in there that you need to tell. I believe it was the blanket, right? And she was fighting you because she didn't want to go to sleep. Again, you didn't mean to do it. So Paige, again, if she was here right now, what would she say happened?
I covered her head up to go to sleep.
Okay. And would she say, I was fighting Mommy because I didn't want to go to sleep?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what she did.
And Mommy, what else did Mommy do?
Nothing.
Okay.
And I smacked her on the butt a couple times, not like hard, just to her, enough to where she could feel it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and know it was time to chill out.
Okay. Thank you. Right. See that spanking we asked earlier about if you did, and you said no.
I know, I just,
So these things that we're telling you that we know happened, and you don't want to tell us because you're scared, you're in pain, but you can't start to heal until you help us figure out what exactly happened. I think we can all agree at this point that you didn't do this intentionally, right? I can see it right now. Okay? It's horrible that it happened. Horrible. There's nothing that we can do to bring her back. Okay? But there's a way that we can help her memory of that little angel. Because we can't let her down like that. Okay? Don't let her down.
she should still be here.
She should be. Do you want to help her now?
What?
Do you want to help her now?
Of course.
After hours of carefully working through every version of the story she had constructed, Paige Boone decides to come clean. What she tells detectives is not complicated. It is worse for being simple.
And it's time to be honest about everything. No more half-truths. No more forgetting. That's how you help her. That's how you help you. Get that guilt
Never
out of you.
wanted it to happen.
No, you didn't. But it happened. But we have to get that guilt out of you. You didn't do it on purpose.
I did hold her down for a minute just so she would stay still. But it wasn't for very long. I just wanted her to go to sleep. Sorry.
You didn't mean to. Do you feel a little better? Right now is saying thank you. She knows that you didn't try to hurt her. She knows you wouldn't do that on purpose. Paige, was that all that happened? We're being honest now, right?
Yes.
There's no more lies
no,
and different things.
No.
Good. So are you really ready to tell me what, like the real story now?
Yeah.
Okay. Like from the beginning.
I mean, she woke up and laid there and watched her TV for a little bit, and then when she started crying, I just made her lay down and held her there for a second, and I thought it would be fine.
How did you hold her down?
like demonstrate with my own self. Like, I held her like right here and like right here.
Okay.
Just so she would lay down and stop moving so she would go to sleep.
So if, obviously this is not her size, but if this was her back and her head is here, show me what you're talking about.
Her head here?
Yeah.
Okay, so like right like this.
Okay. So you were just basically like, this is her neck and her upper back?
Yeah, just like holding her
Just
down.
holding her down?
So she would go to sleep.
Okay. And then...
Because she likes to kick around and stuff when she's going to sleep, and I don't want her to kick herself off the damn couch.
Sure. Okay. And you think that it was about a minute that you held her like that?
Yeah, not even that.
Okay. And what was happening at that time that you were doing that to her?
She was just still crying like she always does.
And then at what point did she stop crying?
It was like not long before I let go. Maybe like 5-10 seconds.
5 or 10 seconds.
I thought she had just went to sleep.
Did you try to wake her up?
No, because I thought she was just sleepy.
Okay. At what point did you know something was wrong?
When my uncle called me out there and it seemed she was purple.
Okay. When you were holding her down, did you feel anything?
No.
Anything break or pop or?
No.
No? Thank you for being honest.
You're welcome.
It helps me in order to understand, right? So I can help you. 'Cause this is... You're only, what, 21?
After pressing her daughter's face into a couch cushion until she stopped crying, Paige's first instinct was not to check whether Octavia was still breathing. For investigators, that kind of calm does not read as innocence. It reads as something else.
Okay. And when you said that you checked on Octavia, and you said that you saw her breathing...
Yes. She was warm, everything was fine.
She was warm, but
Nothing.
She didn't make any noises?
No, so I thought she was just asleep. She usually doesn't make a peep when she's asleep.
Okay. But when we asked if you saw her breathing, like her chest or her back rising up and down, did you see that?
Well, the blanket was over her, but I thought I did. It looked like it was moving.
Okay. But you earlier when we asked you and you said, yep, I saw it, now you're saying, I didn't see it. I thought I did, but the blanket was on her,
Yeah,
so you couldn't say for sure.
Her.
Okay. wasn't until after your Uncle Chris came home with your cousin that he checked on her, on Octavia, and saw that something wasn't right.
When I was using the bathroom.
Okay, and then what did he do next?
He got on the phone and he called my Aunt Tiffany, and then he told my cousin to come back and get me.
Okay, and then what did you do?
I ran out there immediately.
Okay. Did you do anything else? Like,
Oh, I just ran straight out there.
who called 911?
I did.
So that's just one thing. Like, I knew you did, but when I asked you if there was anything else that you did, so that's one thing. Maybe you forgot, but so that's why I have to make sure that when we're telling the truth, right, like we are, that there's not things that you are forgetting about or not telling me.
I understand.
Okay, so everything that you've said so far at this point, after we're being honest, is the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No way did you ever want to do this to her.
No.
Never. Okay. Alright.
Paige, I'm proud of you for telling us the truth.
I'm sorry. I'm scared.
We understand that.
And I didn't mean to be mean. Like I said, I was freaking out.
Just when the interrogation appears to have reached its ceiling, the detective introduces a new piece of information. He has just spoken with evidence technicians still working the scene. They found a child-sized dent in the wall. Octavia's hair was still in it. Paige had never mentioned it, not once across the entire interview.
Hi, Miss Paige. So, there is some questions that I have, okay?
Okay.
And again, we're still being honest, right? And this is the only way that this works, is if we're honest, because we don't want to hide things anymore. Okay? There's more that happened than what you told me. Okay? Because I just got off the phone with some of my evidence technicians at the house. Okay? And they told me about some things that I'm very concerned about. Things that you forgot maybe to tell me about, maybe that happened to you.
What do you mean?
Like, did you throw her?
No, I would never throw her.
Did you push her?
No, I didn't push her.
Alright, well there's something that happened to her that caused a dent in drywall that has her hair in it.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that.
But what do you mean drywall?
Like whatever this wall is made of, whatever the wall that you have in that trailer, there's a dent from a child's head with her hair still in the dent. Her face is bruised.
I didn't hit her on the wall.
Then tell me what happened.
I did tell you.
But how do you explain that?
I did not hit her face on a wall.
Did she hit it herself?
She could have. She had fallen off the couch that morning. Like I said, she's always rolling off.
So she did fall off the couch that morning?
Yeah, she fell off the couch.
Okay. What end of the couch?
She like rolled off the side.
Okay, so we go back to our picture. This is the couch, right? And this is true too, right?
Yeah, of course.
You didn't lie about this?
No.
Okay. So this is the couch, this is the TV. What end of the couch did she fall off at?
Right here, where she was sleeping, she rolled off right here.
So she just rolled off here?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're telling me, again,
Yes, I
that you got up and what?
checked on her after she had fallen off, obviously.
Well, it's not obviously because I wasn't there.
Paige, this is what you want to avoid, is you want to avoid having a pathologist say this is what they believe happened. Because when they usually do that, it is a terrible sequence of events and a terrible occurrence that looks very, very bad. So if there's something, so some type of accident, whether you slipped, you were going towards her, accidentally pushed her into the wall. She jumped into the wall. She was trying to get away from you.
There was
Something
no
along
wall.
those lines. Somehow her head met that wall and her hair came off her head and stuck on the wall.
Nothing happened with the wall.
Has she fallen into the wall at some point?
No,
Off
she
of the
just
couch?
fell off the couch this morning.
But not the wall side?
No, the floor.
Okay. This is your chance to continue to be honest with us and continue to tell us.
Honest.
Because once we get done talking here, that time will have passed.
I'm being honest. I'm telling you.
Right, but that's what you told us at the beginning of this interview, and we found that that wasn't actually what was
I told
happening.
you what happened. I held her down to get her to go back to bed.
Right, but now we've found further things, so now we have to explain those.
I didn't. There was no wall. There was no involvement with a wall.
What about the TV stand?
Not the TV stand either. The TV stand's not even by that couch.
Okay. Aside from the floor that she fell onto from the couch, was there any other physical contact that you had with Octavia that would have caused her
There wasn't.
to get hurt?
She wasn't even near a wall.
Forget about the wall, right? I'm asking if there's any point that you grabbed a hold of her and did something other than what you've already talked about.
No. I wouldn't do that.
Not on purpose?
I didn't do it at all. I just held her down so she would go to sleep.
Even with detectives pressing harder, Paige holds to her account. After 3 hours, they return to inform her she is under arrest.
Hey, Paige. This is Sergeant Brooks. Okay? He's going to be taking you to the hospital to get a blood draw. We have a search warrant to get your blood. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now that you're under arrest for the murder of your daughter.
I didn't murder her.
Okay, well it's manslaughter. Okay, so she died because of what happened.
The case moved to prosecutors. Paige was formally charged in connection with Octavia's death and spent the next 14 months in St. Joseph County Jail. In that time, detectives had been working quietly, pulling records from the phone she had been texting on throughout the morning of November 7th. What they found on that phone would rewrite the shape of the case entirely.
Okay. Just to remind you, Paige, I'm Jason. We talked before. Also present is Jordan Harden, the defense for Paige, Prosecutor Deborah Davis, and Detective Sergeant Kevin Brooks. It's 8/15, 2025 at approximately 1:20 in the afternoon. So this interview is a proffer interview where we're going to talk with Paige about what happened to her daughter. Okay. So Paige, do you have any questions before we start?
No.
Okay. You understand what you're here for, why we're doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. So just to kind of keep things easy for everybody, just a reminder, we're telling the truth. Right? We're not here to hide things. We just want to get the true story one last time.
The detective asks her to start again from the night before. This time, there are details in her story that were not there the first time.
Okay. How did dinner go that night?
It was good.
Okay.
I don't remember what we ate, but...
You remember what it was doing at that time?
Sitting there eating.
Okay. Because before you had mentioned something about she had gotten in trouble and got put in timeout.
Yeah, Fred did.
Fred did what?
Put her on the couch in timeout.
Okay, so tell me about what happened. Why did she go into timeout?
I don't really remember, honestly.
And you said that Fred was the one that put her in timeout.
Yeah.
Okay. At that point, how long had you guys been together, you and Fred?
About a little over exactly 2 years.
2 years? Okay, and was it normal for him to dish out discipline?
Yeah, he always did.
Okay. Okay. And the discipline that he would dish out, what would that entail, usually?
He would usually spank her.
Okay. And when you had also mentioned before that you would give her melatonin to help her sleep. Was any melatonin given to her that night before she went to sleep?
Yeah, Fred gave her one.
Okay. So Fred gave her one of those melatonin.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, from past discussion, that was like a chewy melatonin. Mm-hmm. And it was the kids' dosage. Yeah. Okay, and it was just the one.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you also give her melatonin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either him or I.
Okay. But that night it was just him.
Yeah, it was him.
Okay. And did you see him give it to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paige, who had previously maintained that no melatonin was given to Octavia before she died, now offers a different account. Her boyfriend, Fred, she says, had given Octavia melatonin the night before. She moves on to the morning of the incident. According to her, everything was normal. One name keeps reappearing: Fred.
Like when people started waking up. So, again, who got up first? Who was awake? What do you remember about hearing or seeing that day?
I was awake. Fred was awake. I was awake until she went back to sleep. My uncle was up because he took Fred to work. I believe my cousins were getting ready to go to school, or they were already at school.
Okay. You remember what time it was that Fred left, you said?
Around, like, 5:50, 6-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay. And he was awake at that point?
Yeah.
And Fred did not put her back to sleep that day before he went to work?
He tried, but she didn't want to go back to sleep yet.
Okay. What was her demeanor? Like, how was she acting?
She was happy. She was always happy.
Okay. And why didn't she go back to sleep?
I don't know. I guess she just didn't want to.
Okay. You said that Fred would usually put her back to sleep?
Yeah.
How would he do that?
He would wrap her up in a blanket and lay her down.
Okay. But he gave her more melatonin?
I didn't see him give her any, no.
Okay. But typically?
Typically what?
Like, would he give her melatonin in the morning to help her go back to sleep?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. All right. And then for sure, November 7th, you didn't see him give her any melatonin before he left for work?
No.
Okay.
With Paige still not fully accounting for the morning, detectives drop the text messages.
Paige, you remember that, like, we have all your text messages with you and Fred, right? And what was said in those messages is not what you're describing right now as far as that environment goes.
I don't remember what the text messages are.
At 8:59, Fred asks you, WYD, right? What you doing? You said, trying to sleep, but I can't because of her. Then you say, I'm gonna fuck her up. I'm pissed, bro. I'm gonna fucking hurt her. And then you say, I'm done with this shit. Fred responds, do it. Beat her ass. You say, I did. Okay? And even prior to that, there's a recording that you made of her crying.
Yeah, that was around the time she was crying.
Okay. So, when you say that everything was fine, she was watching TV, that is not what we know didn't happen.
Honestly, when he told me to do that, our relationship was kind of rocky. He would threaten to hit me upside the head with alcohol bottles and all sorts of stuff. So I just lied and said I did, otherwise it would, yeah.
I'm going to stop for a second. Jordan, your client understands that if she's not truthful in her testimony, then this deal is completely gone and there's the potential for trial and conviction on the more serious charges. Do you need a few minutes to talk to her about...
If I could, yeah.
After a brief recess with her attorney, Paige returns. The detective picks up exactly where he stopped, walking through the messages from the beginning of the morning, one exchange at a time.
So at 6:02 in the morning, on November 7th of 24. He texts, she sleep? And you say, no, she keeps on trying to get out. When I tell her to go to sleep, she just cries. He says, shit stupid, is the cover still over her? Yeah, and this is you. Yeah, she keeps taking it off too every time I put it back over her. Dumbass, she cries loud as a bitch. Okay. Fred says, put something in her mouth. You say, okay. Did you put anything in her mouth?
No.
Okay. And then he says, and put the cover in the couch tight.
I didn't do that either.
Okay. He says, and give her 2 of them things so she can be out soon. And then you say, I did, and okay. What was it that he was telling you to give to her?
He was talking about melatonin, but I lied and said I did, because if I didn't, he would freak out.
Okay. So, again, 2 of them things is melatonin. Okay, but you did not give her any melatonin at that point. He says, let me know. I love you. Get some rest. And then you respond, can't because won't shut up. I love you. And then he says, turn on that big black fan, it loud, it by the small couch, by Unc room. You say, okay. He says, I love you. You say, I love you. And then you say, this is her right now, by the way. And this is where you have that recording of crying. Okay? And just to clarify, when you say this is her, who are you talking about? You're talking about. And then he says, man, beat her fucking ass, bae. That shit's stupid as fuck. Put her face in the couch or wrap her ass up in that big cover. So I put something in her fucking mouth. FR. And then he says, if I was there, I'd be fucking her up. FR. And then Chris is in there bitching, talking about their 2 kids sleeping. You don't want me mad. No fucking shit, dumbass. It's not my fault. She don't fucking listen. Okay, and that's what you said. Okay. I ain't dealing with no one's shit. I got enough going on in my head. I wish someone would give me a fucking reason to let my anger out. You remember saying that?
No.
Okay. He says, wow, just chill, put her next to you and make her go back to sleep. And now she'd do that shit. No, I'm not putting her next to me. It's her fault she wakes up this fucking early. She shouldn't even be awake. I shouldn't have to put her back to sleep because she wants to act like a fucking idiot. I'm sick of her shit. Fred responds, man, FR, ma, this bullshit, FR. Does that mean for real? What does that mean? It means for real. Okay. You say, she's still doing it. I'm sorry, he says, she's still doing it. You respond, yep. You ain't put her face in the couch or put something in her mouth, seat her cup up in her mouth or something. Okay. Then he says, or tape her shut, LMFAO, IDK Bay. And then you say, have been. So did you put tape on her mouth or anything?
No.
Okay. And then he says, you got to put that cover in the couch. Good, man. Shit fucking stupid. For real. You say she's still yelling. Yeah. So again, this goes on for hours. This conversation you have with Fred back and forth. With me reading this to you, is it starting to spark a little bit of your memory?
No.
Paige says she does not remember. This is the same woman who, 14 months earlier, demonstrated on her own body exactly how she had held her daughter down. She no longer recalls any of it. Meanwhile, while Paige was sitting in jail, Fred Nelson called. The first thing he wanted to know about was the phone.
What are you thinking when he's telling you this stuff?
And then if I don't tell him I did it or lie, he's gonna freak out on me.
Okay, so about 8:20 in the morning, he tells you, give her 2 more of them things, fuck it. Okay. And again, 2 of them things
Melatonin.
are the melatonin, the same ones that he gave one of to the night before.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're telling me that you did not do what he was telling you to do.
No.
And the reason why you didn't do it is why?
Because I'm not like that.
Okay. So I'm having to go off 2 different printouts.
Okay.
Yeah, so give her 2 more of them things, fuck it, or 1. And then you say, obviously they ain't fucking working. But you didn't give them to her. You're just saying that so he wouldn't get mad at you.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, yep, they will dope her ass up. You give some, like, emoji face, like a, I don't know, almost like a upside down face. That's Sweet Bay. He says, I got you, love. He says, what you doing? And you say, trying to sleep, but I can't because of her. Again, I'm gonna fuck her up. I'm pissed, bro. I'm gonna fucking hurt her. I'm done with this shit. He says, do it, beat her ass. And then you say, I did.
I did it.
Okay. Would you say that anything that he was telling you was encouraging you?
No.
To do what you did? So when he says, do it, beat her ass, you didn't beat her ass?
No.
Okay. But do you remember what you did at that point?
No.
You don't remember what you did? So again, all these messages were taken off of your phone. And do you remember having a conversation with Fred while you're here in jail on the phone when he was asking you about your passcode for your phone?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Mm-hmm. And he had said the detective done called me. Yeah, they want the password to your phone for an investigation. So I hope you got nothing on that bitch. He mentions messages and then asks you if you deleted all the messages. You had responded, but it was inaudible. Like, I couldn't understand what it was that you said. Do you remember what it was that you said to him? So did you end up deleting messages?
I always deleted my messages.
Okay. Just out of habit?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Fred mentions that a certain message might not look good. And then you asked what one, and he responded with the message when Paige stated that she was going to beat her ass. And Fred stated when he responded with put her face in the couch or whatever, you said yeah. But Fred said it was all a figure of speech. Remember having some sort of conversation like that with him?
A little bit.
What else should we know about Fred?
When we were were staying at the apartment in Battle Creek. He beat her butt so hard one time she had bruises on her.
And what did Octavia do wrong to get that?
I don't remember. I don't think she did anything.
It is the first time across 2 interrogation sessions that Fred Nelson's direct physical contact with Octavia has come up on the record. With nowhere left to move, Paige attempts to redirect everything toward Fred. Each time she does, the detective produces another message. She ends up drowning in her own words. Less than 2 months later, on October 21st, 2025, detectives brought Paige in for a third interview. A plea deal was on the table. She arrived with written notes and a third version of the morning.
We were at Fred's brother's house one night. Cody, I can't remember his last name. I think we were living there at the time before we got our apartment in Battle Creek. And we was running around the house playing, and she ran up to me and she was crying, upset because I was making dinner and it wasn't done yet. Fred took her to the living room, and I thought he just sat her down, whatever. She stopped crying. And then his brother Cody went out into the living room, and I heard him yell, "Don't cover her mouth like that, she can't breathe." And then he said, "I used to do this to our," which was his son, and he said, "Well, he's fine." And then he came back out pissed off, got on his video game, and Cody was holding her and talking to her. My mom told me there was bruising on her face at the funeral. And my memory must have blocked it out because I remember him hitting her in the mouth that morning, and I asked him to stop, but he wouldn't listen.
Did you say that morning? Do you mean the morning that Octavia passed?
Before he went to work.
How was he hitting her?
In the mouth.
Open hand, closed hand?
Open.
Open hand. Did you see him do that?
Yeah, and I asked him to stop, but he wouldn't listen.
Who else was around to see that?
Just me.
And you don't know why all of a sudden you want to bring that up?
I didn't remember until just recently. He was aggressive and emotionally and mentally abusive. He threatened to hit me with alcohol bottles, and I'm scared of him.
Let's talk about the melatonin. Did you give melatonin that morning?
No, Fred gave her.
About those melatonin gummies, toxicology found nearly 3 times the peak adult concentration in Octavia's blood. Paige had, at this point, sat through 2 separate interrogation sessions, insisting she gave Octavia nothing on the morning she died. As the detective put it plainly, the math really only goes one way.
Some.
Okay. Did you see him give her melatonin?
I believe it was only one.
And that was the night before? Okay. And you did not give any melatonin?
No.
All right. Because we know that she had a very high concentration in her blood. And if you were the only one with her that would have gave her melatonin, she didn't get it herself. You see how that kind of, the math adds up?
The what adds up?
Like the math. Like you've got 1 + 1 = 2. So we know that she had a large concentration in her blood of melatonin.
I understand that, but I'm being honest, I didn't give her any.
Okay. You don't know how she could have got it then. When Fred's telling you, push her face in the cushion or in the couch, you didn't do that?
No.
Okay. Even though there's markings on the couch?
No, I didn't do that.
And I think I asked you this last time, but The things that he was telling you to do, had he ever told you to do those before? Okay. And would you do that?
No.
Did you ever witness yourself him do that?
He would wrap her up in a blanket so she couldn't move, and he would tell me to leave her there, and I couldn't do anything about it.
And anything that he told you on the phone didn't give you any motivation to do what you did?
I didn't do any of that. I didn't do what I said in my statement that night. I don't know why I said that. I was not in a right state of mind at all.
But Paige, what you told me you did happened. Because that's how he died. That's how it was proven in the autopsy. Okay, so we know that happened. We don't get to dance around that anymore. If you can come here today and you say, oh, you remember that Fred did this or told you that, but you can't remember what you did, yeah?
Because I didn't.
I've got no other questions.
If you don't believe me, that's alright, because God knows.
A fitting exit from someone who spent more than a year producing 3 entirely different accounts of the same morning. The detective's response is the bluntest moment across all 3 sessions. We don't get to dance around that anymore. And they didn't. In July 2025, Paige Boone pleaded no contest to charges of abuse and assault by strangulation or suffocation. The murder charge and a conspiracy charge were both dropped as part of the agreement. She was sentenced to between 19 and 45 years in a Michigan prison and received credit for 406 days already served. Octavia Boone was 2 years old. Her mother had her phone in her hand all morning. The text messages were there before the 911 call was made. What the evidence could not answer is why nobody saw any of it until after a child was dead.